I have pretty much worked in retail my entire life. Uh, and I've always had something on the horizon, I think in the past, even 10 years, that I wanted to do something a little bit different. I knew I was good at what I was doing, but it was getting old and I wasn't being challenged anymore. I wasn't really moving up in the ladder like I wanted to be doing. So now I am an area manager for the Northeast markets. I've moved across the country and found a job in the outdoor industry that I love and am challenged with every day. And I get to travel and love everybody that I work with. And I finally feel like I'm with a company that aligns with what I believe in and does it in a way that speaks to me. And so it's really, really fun to be able to say, that I work for a company that I love. It sounds so silly, but when you can say that and have confidence in saying, what you do for work, there's something special about it. I think it really I had no sense of direction, I think was my initial fear with it, is that I didn't know if I wanted to stay in my industry, do something completely different. What could I even do? What skills did I even have? I felt so lost. And I think that the obstacles were really just having so much going on in my head, all of these things, the voices saying, you're only good at this, and being in a job that I didn't love, you don't feel successful in that. So then I thought, gosh, am I not good at something I've been doing my whole life? And I think my gut told me differently, but when you have all these outside negative voices, it's really hard to create a positive path and open yourself up to opportunities. And I think if I had the opportunity before the coaching, if this job came along, I don't think I would have been ready for it, honestly. I don't think that I would have gone for it. And I definitely wouldn't have had the interview process that I had and the interactions that I had, because it brought all of that in. And I think that was a huge part of why they felt like I was a good fit for them. We kind of started in a place of backing up because I really couldn't articulate what I wanted out of a job. It felt a little silly at first, but when I started to imagine it, you immediately get brighter and bigger, and it felt really good to say it out loud. And I think honestly, that was one of my biggest obstacles, was having the nerve to think that I could say those things, that I wanted to be happy in my career, because part of me felt a little ungrateful because there's so many people that don't have a job. And I didn't want to seem ungrateful for not having one, and trying to find the happiness in that instead of knowing that I could have more and that I deserved more. And I think that I had this aha moment where I just said it out loud. And it was this ridiculous moment that it truly felt like this weight was kind of thrown off of me, and I felt bigger, and I felt like I could imagine a better life. And I think that's the beautiful part about coaching, is that it's a true partnership, and your coach can really pull that out, because it's something that you have roadblock eyes on and you can't see it. You can't, those questions that, you don't think to ask yourself that make you go, oh, yeah. It reminded me I do have great skills and great strengths. They're not being utilized and they're being overlooked. And so I knew I needed then to find a company that cared about that and that also saw those things as strengths and not an opportunity. I was looking through my notes from when we first started our coaching, and I was making, just some notes about what my job is right now. What are the things that I love about it? And I compared the two, and it is ridiculous how similar they are. And I didn't even think about it until I just looked at it. And it's, having the passion reignited. It's working with people that I respect, that have morals and values that I do and share the visions. It's travel, the freedom to be able to work from home when I want to. The money piece is something that, you have to talk about, and it's important. And I had a number that I wrote down, and that is my salary. I think the coach piece is huge. I think when you try to do it on your own, we're not necessarily built with the skills to do that and to truly find where we want to be. And I think it was worth every single penny and then some. I wouldn't even question telling someone to do it. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. And so I think that, it's such a small investment for what you get out of it. Even if at the end of the day, you think you're supposed to be from A to B, and you end up going sideways a little bit from that, at the end of it, if you're open to it and you do the work, and, because it is a partnership, and you do have to come to the table with, what you need to do as well. But when it works, oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless. So I think just, doing it, finally just doing it, and, pulling the trigger on it and taking that step forward. I think for me personally, I teeter a lot before I finally jump in. And at some point you have to just jump in.